Good morning, family. I'm not gonna stay on here too long. It's about 4:44 a.m. I want to say this right here. Um, and this is just my observations, my feelings. I don't know if anybody else have the same feelings or observations, but it's like the reason it's so hard, and this is my opinions, okay? The reason it's so hard for many folk to make organic and genuine connections um, is because there's a lot of fake, and there's a lot of people. I don't care what positions they're in. I don't care if they're coaching people. I don't care if they have done a lot of great things. Um, some people just have no integrity. And what I see is a battle of um, real versus fake. It's like if you're just an authentic person, you have to fight to be you, to be your normal self. And you have a lot of fake people, they want to find true authenticity, and they watch you, they want to cling to you, but they don't do it openly. It's like they do it secretly, and they create secret competitions in their mind against those that they secretly admire. There's no integrity, there's no uh, um organic relationship building, because there's a lot of covetousness. Thou shalt not covet. That's a commandment. And so you have those who are authentic, showing up for life, and then they see a part of themselves over here. And then they see a part of themselves over there. And it can become very weird and scary. It's like, is this legal? You know, um, you see people taking parts of your character or parts of you, your thinking, your mind, your words, and they're regurgitating it. And it could be some people who, what brought me to this is, I was just talking to the Lord about some things, and I was like, I want to be connected with real folk. I want to continue to build with those who are just pure in heart, genuine, who have no pride and ego issues, who don't mind, pointing out the great things that they see in their brothers and sisters, encouraging their brothers and sisters. And when we make organic connections, sometimes we rub off on each other, we repeat each other's words and stuff, but we have no problem honoring our brothers and our sisters, because we're secure in who we are. We love our own selves, we love our own authenticity, and so we show up genuinely. I saw I saw in yesterday, it was a video that I posted a few days ago, and all of a sudden it popped up. Like I say, sometimes when I need to see something, it's in the midnight when I get up to pray, or sometimes it's randomly. I'll see something pop up on my phone, and I'll be like, why is this popping up before? I don't really see this stuff from this individual, stuff like that pop up. And so I'll be led to check it out. And then I saw something pop up where the video I posted just a few days ago, an individual took that same title, and he posted it, the same thing that I had up, and I was like, that's weird. Right after me, the same exact title and everything. God will be an enemy to your enemies. Hold your peace. And I was like, And so I listened to it, and then it's like, I was listening to him say it. He kept looking to the side, like he was reading off of something, but it was I didn't feel no substance, no nothing. I was like, why would he come and watch me, and then go directly and regurgitate? So I commented, and I said, brother, you can share my video if you want. I said the eighth commandment, because he was speaking. And then what I did was, before I commented, I went to review a lot of his, I went to see some of his other stuff, and I listened to him. And I mean, he seems presented himself as a young man of God who has wisdom. And if he didn't regurgitate stuff from other people, so I listened to some of his stuff, and I was like, why would he come and watch me? And then he obviously had to scroll through. So I went back to my listings and my video. I said, what was it about this one that he just copied this exact thing? And then I saw it was at like nearly 20,000 views versus the first recent views episode. I was like, okay, he deliberately went through and see what had the most views, and he took that exact title, and then he tried to make a video and put that out there. So I knew what I was able to discern what his whole motive was, and I was like, "What?" It was disheartening because based on some of this other content that I was reviewing, he comes across as a young man of God. But that those actions, that stealing, the eighth commandment says, "Thou shalt not steal, and thou shalt not covet." And that whole thing, I didn't understand how he could continue on and do something like that, So I commented and I said, "Brother," I said, "you're welcome to share my video." I said, "The eighth commandment is thou shalt not steal." And I wanted to see what his response was. And he deleted it. He deleted it. And he continued on. He shared another message. So I says, wow, his spirit is not right. And it's so much. And then so what I came to the conclusion, I was like, so here you have, it's just real versus fake, light versus darkness. And everyone claiming to have the light, they don't really have it, because if you had it, you would not have to go and steal from your brother and sister. You would just naturally come out. I'm a normal human being. I think I'm as real as it gets. Am I perfect? No. I work, I work on my own business, my own ideas. I meet people when I'm out at work. There's things that I've gone through. There's things that come to my spirit, and I talk, I speak, I share it. Um, Most of what I share is just me walking around doing something, and something will come to my spirit, and I pick up the phone. I have a lot of people that say, "Oh, you should write. You should write." I've never really had the desire to write. I get a lot of people who have communicated with me over the years. They get a lot of ideas with me. They're like, "Oh, you're so creative. You're just flowing with ideas." I don't mind that. Once you build an organic relationship with somebody, then it's normal, But when somebody doesn't want to build an organic relationship with you and they're secretly watching you, it's like they're perverts. It's like they're criminally minded. That's what thieves do. That's what monitoring spirits are. So, and then they come up and then they want to present themselves as a mouthpiece of God. That's not God. God is not a liar. God is not a thief. And you have people now, everybody's giving so many prophetic words because that's what the people's ears are running to. Nobody's being normal. And so I was a bit discouraged, and I was just praying and, talking, well, I want to be connected with normal, real people. I thank God for, my two earth angels, the two elders that I met. Both of them are the same age, 73 years old. I thank God for them, and I want to be connected with people like that. It doesn't matter the age, it's the spirit. Where are the genuine spirits? And so that's what came to me last night when I got up to pray. I was just thinking, where are the genuine spirits? We're in a time where it's just the real versus fake. You have fake people who are trying to steal and covet. Not trying to, they are doing it, and they're going on about life. And it all goes back to the scripture that says, and a lot of people misinterpret this. They think about, oh, money ain't bad, money ain't evil. No, it goes back to the scripture. The love of money is the root of all evil. The love of it. And so that's why you have people coming on a public platform such as this, and they're stealing. They're not authentic. They're not real. And so you have blind leading the blind. You have people with these perverse spirits leading and speaking, and as you're giving them your ear, what's on the inside of them is being transferred. It's not really real. And it's like, this is the world that we're living in. Sometimes it makes me just want to hide myself. It makes me just want to hide myself, and like, dang, it's weird. People will try to steal your mind, if that makes sense. And so this is why it's hard to build, or this is why you don't really see people building a lot of organic relationships. And then you have those who want to tear other people down to make themselves look good. If you're a person that walks in confidence, if you are a person who is just, you have your own mind, you just do your own thing. You'll have people who they don't like you, they don't like your strength, your confidence. They want to try and tear you down, they're jealous of you. And um it doesn't even matter how you carry yourself. It could be they're jealous of your spiritual resilience. They're jealous of your spiritual gifts. They're just jealous of the way you think, your creativity, your authenticity. When you have an authenticity about yourself, you're not really looking for anybody to accept you. You're not looking for anyone's validation. You just show up as who you are. And those who love you, those who can see you for who you are, they're gonna love you. Those who really can't get you, they're not gonna love you because they don't know you, they don't understand you. And everybody is okay. Everybody's not gonna understand you. Everybody don't have eyes to see who you are. And when you carry the light of Christ in you, you don't need nobody attaching you. We don't want anyone attaching to us just because they see something good that they can benefit off of us, or they see a certain gift or skill we had. No, you want people building organic relationships with who you are, and who we are at our core, our spirit, because life is spiritual. And in order for somebody to really know who you are, they have to take the time to learn you. They have to be in communication with you, conversation with you. And sometimes when you will know when people have ill motives, because if you take your time to learn them, or you'll see if they haven't peeled back all the layers. Once they come and they get that first surface level of you, if they have bad intentions, they'll run off and try to paint you a certain way, or try to assassinate your character, and they have not seen all the layers to you. And then you separate from those kind. And as you continue to shine on, and you give people bits and pieces of layer, those who have time to really learn and study you and build genuine connections with you, they're going to see all the different layers to your life, and it's going to be a blessing to them. And I think it should be vice versa. We become blessings to each other, but we can't build and come into agreement as brothers and sisters when you are too prideful and too self-seeking, too covetous to even acknowledge the gifts in another. If there's something that my brother or sister says that inspires me, why can't I mention their name? Or if I learn something from them, why can't I mention that I like the way you think, or I like the words that you're saying? I enjoy listening to you. I enjoy listening to you talk, because the way your mind is different from the way my mind is. And so if I am going to try to covet parts of your mind and act and pretend as if this is the way I think, then that makes me fake. I am not real. I am not authentic. What makes me authentic is who I am. I do not think like everybody. Everybody does not think like me. I like me. But then there are also brothers and sisters who I see who are very unique and creative, and they think differently in a way that I've never thought before. And so I find myself, I would like to listen to them. And because I like to listen to them, if they said something that has helped me, why would I try to covet that and piggyback what they said, or take what they said and make it my own versus just sharing? I can share them. Why? Because something about them has inspired me, and it's just blessed my soul. So let them bless everybody else. Let the world see who they are, you know, because I know that there's enough room in this world for the world to also see who I am. I'm happy being me, and I'm continuously growing, you know. And so if my brother or sister rubs off on me, then let them rub off on somebody else as well. Let other people get it. And if you don't get it, then okay, maybe it's not for you. If they don't have anything to offer you, then maybe it's not for you, right? And so I believe that's how we build organic relationships, by acknowledging those we inspire. And some people will think if they feel as if you are beneath them, or as if you have a smaller influence than them, they're too prideful to acknowledge you. but they'll go and sit back and watch you in secret. And that's also very disappointing. And that's evident that there's a spirit of pride, arrogance, egos in the way. And I tend to try to avoid people like that. I am the individual, and I've always been like this. I don't care what role I've played, what type of job I've had. Even when I was on the street working as a police officer for many years, I've always carried myself in a humble way, because that badge, that gun, that's nothing compared to spiritual authority. God is in control. I always knew that. So that was just a role that I played, as a job, that was just a job that I did that still didn't make me. I brought me to the job. And there were times that I would get out with those who were less fortunate, and I would learn from them. I would have conversations with them. I would pray with them. And many times there's a lot of people all over the state. I've worked all over my state, and I've built up a lot of different connections. I've done a lot of things for people, things that I even forget about. And sometimes I see people will remind me, you remember when you did this? I took kids in my home, sent them off, worked with networks that I had to get them off to places that could benefit them. And I've always been a servant. I've always um, carried myself in a humble way. And that's how I still try to live now. And I acknowledge the greatness that I see in others. I don't care if you are what some would consider a bum on the street. There's a homeless guy that I know that I've done so much for, and he's very mechanically inclined. He's taught me a lot of things. There are things sometimes if I'm working on, and if I'm puzzled about something, I know I can go and run it across him or one other individual, and they pretty much know. I don't care if you're the president of the United States or a person on the street that has no home living in a tent. I'm not going to treat the president of the United States with greater respect than I treat this man here living in a tent. I believe they're both equal. I do. Even though their positions and their statuses in life may not be the same, but they're both souls, they're both spirits, they're both human beings, you know. And I believe love, respect, and honor are the greatest things you could show people, and people will never forget how you make them feel, you know. Um, and we're not perfect. Sometimes you may have a bad day, but just honoring people, being honest and acknowledging the greatness that you see in others. If I see that you're doing something great, I'll be your biggest cheerleader. I want people to see. Other people need to see. If you're shining a light, other people need to see that light, and they can take away from it what they need to take away from. And I see too much now. You have a lot of people who just power hungry. They just power hungry, and they want influence so bad because they want to build themselves up. They want authority. And you got to know what you ask for. Solomon he wasn't eager and hungry for no authority. He wanted to make sure he was qualified. He wanted to make sure that he had what it took to be in front of all these people. And God saw that humility, and he honored that. He asked for wisdom. And you have these days, people aren't asking God for nothing. They're telling lies on God. They're doing a lot of prophet lying. God say this, God say that. And you have a lot of fake, false prophets. They're coming against God's people who are just truly authentic and normal and anointed. They see the anointing on your life, and they will try to pick you apart and find a problem with you, or create a problem with you, or get you in the flesh so that they can contaminate what you're doing. And they will try to assassinate your character. I've had it done to me over and over. And some of you have already seen what this agent of darkness is already trying to, has tried to assassinate my character. It's been happening ever since I was popped back on this YouTube. I've only been on here for almost 2 years now. This year, last year, I think I popped on YouTube towards the end of 2021 or something like that, because always had a YouTube account for years since I used to log on, watch videos or stuff like that. like how-to stuff, learn how to do stuff, or get a visual on something that I wanted to learn. And if me and my uncles weren't together building something, but I really wasn't on here posting just for like 2 years. And even when I only had 50 subscribers, I would see some of the craziest attacks, and I'm thinking like, who could be paying me attention, you know, when I don't even have that any subscribers, you know, and I just it's rare to connect with authentic people. A lot of people are just fake. They're negative. They hate what you're doing. They see you're doing something good, and I thank God for my brothers and sisters who encourage me, and many of you who you've shared my videos and stuff. That's been encouraging. And then my big brothers and sisters, Led Farmer 73, his beautiful wife, my brother shared many of my videos encouraging me, but he's also taught me a lot. I've also learned a lot from him about survival. When I was in my wilderness, I watched him and his wife a lot. And when I planted my first peach trees, I learned from them how to make my peaches sweeter with my eggshells, putting caffeine. I don't drink coffee, but my mom was a coffee drinker, so I would have her save her coffee grounds so I could put them around my tree, and my peaches would turn out so sweet and organic. I didn't use any type of um, 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 material on them, like any type of treatments on them that weren't organic. And so they were just natural. They reminded me of the peaches that I would eat when my grandmother was alive years ago, how the fruits used to be so sweet, because you can't really go in the stores and find it like that now. And then, but Big Brother Led, share my videos, encouraging me. And, so I was like, wow, that's what's up, and then my sister, big sister Cassandra Mack Ministries, I thank God for her and her loving ministry. She was always so encouraging, praying for me times that I was going through issues with family stuff, and I would send messages for prayer, and they would pray. She and her team would pray for me. She shared many of my videos. She'd always be very encouraging. I thank God for people like that, because they're rare. They're rare. People like that are very, very rare. Nowadays you see people, they just want to esteem themselves, and they will look down and try to put their foot on the heads of those that they see God is raising up, and just take from them, take from them, take from them, and that's not of God. That's not of God. Real is rare. Fake truly is everywhere, you know. And so I just want real organic connections. I want to, me going life in this life now, there's so much going on. Anything worth having is worth taking your time to obtain. My grandma used to say, anything worth having is worth fighting for. And when it comes to building solid, organic connections, it takes time, because, you can't have everybody just run up in your life, and you got to know what people's motives are, and you got to learn, what people are dealing with internally, because sometimes people could be dealing with things and it has nothing literally to do with you, but if you're too close to them, they would take it out on you, you know. And so just building organic, solid connections on a solid foundation, with those who are real, who don't mind giving their brothers and sisters encouragement, pouring into them, and acknowledging the greatness that they see in their brothers and sisters, and learning from each other, growing together in good unity, positive vibes, where there's love, you know. There's no love, then life is as hard as it is. So you got to connect with people with love in their heart, with pure intentions and stuff, and even though there's a lot of fake, I like to try to always tell myself, be positive, because we can't be the only genuine hearted people. If you are a genuine hearted person, if you are real, if you are authentic, you're not the only one. It just may be far and few, but there may be two out of every 100,000, but hey, they're out there, you know, and you got to connect with people like that, and people who help you just grow, continuously grow and evolve to be better and better and better and better, right? So anyway, That's just my little 2 cents. Just sharing my thoughts. It's just it's real versus fake. It's real versus fake. You got to fight to be who you are because there's a lot of people that's trying to steal you, if that makes sense. But there's still good people out there. We just got to keep believing and be positive. You know, I was listening to Jessica Reedy. I love that song Better. That is such a powerful song. It just blesses my spirit every time I listen to it because I could just feel the power of God. And then I saw an interview with she and Dr. Trim, and that even blessed my soul. I never seen her talk before. I never knew anything about her. And so I just watched it this morning. I shared it in my community section, and just hearing her, she's so pure. Her heart is just such a pure and authentic soul, so that truly blessed my soul. So I don't know, I may be inspired to go to that conference next month. But anyway, you can check out it. I shared it in my community section. But y'all have a blessed day. Enjoy your, what's today? Tuesday. You know what, people have got? I'm a taste of your little country bunking system. I did it just, what can I say? I just took time yesterday. I fell asleep after I made that video right in the spot where I was. I did absolutely not much. I got my toes done. I got a massage. I did a little personal shopping, but I just, you know, I just focused on me. Sometimes it takes that. Just have to have a me day. And I think today I'm gonna take another me day. I need to go and get these locks retwisted. As you guys can see, this Jesus hair. The Bible said Jesus hair was like, whoa, this is it right here, baby. This Jesus hair. It don't never stop growing. But I actually I think these locks I've been locked for about almost 3 years now, going on 3 years. And my natural hair, well, it wasn't natural, it was relaxed, but I've always had long hair. If anybody that knows me, they'll tell you she always used to keep it in a ponytail. And every now and then I used to get somebody to throw a piece of weave or something in there so I didn't have to do nothing much with it. But I always, my regular hair before I went 100% natural, it was a little bit longer than this. So these locks are coming down to where my regular hair was. One day I just stood in the mirror and I held it out and I just cut all the relaxed part off of it. I think I had gone about 6 months without a relaxer. And I stood in my bathroom and I just took a whole chunk in my hand and I cut it. And when I looked at all that long hair, I was like, I couldn't undo it. I couldn't reverse it. But then something was leading me to do that. Go ahead and cut the rest. And I just cut the rest. And when my mom came to visit me, when she came to my home and she saw me, she was shocked. She was like, what did you do with your hair? And I went in the bathroom because I put it in a bag. I showed it to her. She was like, oh my God. Oh, I can't believe you did that. But you know what? I could believe it. I just felt so free and I wasn't ashamed. I would walk around looking like a little chia pet baby with that short hair. And in my mind, I was thinking, did I just do that? But I wasn't ashamed. I went places like I normally was. I was building a shed at the time, and I was building my shed in the backyard at the time. And I would go back and forth to Lowe's, my little short chia hair, and then it grew out into a big ball. And I was like, okay, I like natural, but I can't manage. It's so tough here. And then somebody's like, well, why don't you lock it? I was like, that sounds interesting. And then I locked it up, and this thing is growing, baby, about 3 years in now. And I like it, And I love the fresh look. Like when I go get it retwist, which my stylist, she told me to come this morning. So she's going to retwist me this morning. And I was thinking about waiting till next month, but I'm like, you know what? If I'm just being lackadaisical, taking some time off, I should do it while my time is off. Because once I get back into the swift of things, I'm going to be really busy heading out this year. But I like the look when it gets freshly retwisted, but then I also like when it grows out like this. And if anybody got locks, what you'll know is if you go get your locks, or if you're just starting locks, so my young sisters that just showed your locks that you just started, if you get retwisted, once you get it locked, after you get it locked, don't constantly go back and get it retwisted. Because if you constantly go back, if you just like that fresh, relaxed look where you can see all of your parts and all that, it will damage your locks. Because really, you know, the natural parts of your hair, they need to grow out. It needs to be free, right? And so if you constantly get it retwist, that's when you see people's locks thinning and they're getting bald spots. Why? Because it's a lot of pulling and straining on the hair when you're getting it retwist, and too much of that pulling and straining without letting it grow out and do its own thing, it pulls the hair out. And so for me personally, I actually love this little ruddy new growth look. Like, I love all stages. I like how beautiful it looks when it gets retwisted, and then I also love how it grows out and I can see the natural puffy hair. I love that. You know, it makes me feel more connected to God when I see this hair just constantly growing and growing. And I love to see my brothers and sisters with locks. I also love to see my brothers that got them beards and that just growed out. It's just so beautiful, you know. It's just so beautiful. There is strength in the hair, you know. There is strength in the hair, and the longer it gets, the more wiser and stronger you become. This is Jesus's hair. Yep, his hair was like wool, and you feel it. Yep. So when you put your hand in your natural hair, when you got this natural hair, that's that Jesus hair, baby. I love it. So anyway, y'all have a blessed day. If nobody told you that they love you today, you know your little country bumpkin loves you. It's only one of you in this whole wide world. Keep shining your light bright, baby. Yes, there's a lot of fake, but real is also out there, and you're gonna attract that. People gonna see you for who you are, and they're gonna want to be connected with you. They're not gonna want to have no hidden agendas. They're going to want you. They're going to want to know more about your personality. And then they're going to be able to maybe help shape you and mold you and love on you. Like two of my elders, you know, one of my elders, she texts me, she prays for me. She's just an angel. You're going to be connected. That's how I'm going to be connected with more people like that. I've never had any siblings. I never had brothers and sisters. I've always worked. I've always held my own. But I know that there are people out there who are supposed to be connected with me. And many of you are those people. You showed up, and we're going to continue to grow our tribe of love. I'm glad to be a part of the tribe. Shout out to my sister Sabrina. We got the same name, who said that we are the tribe of love. That was our divine name. I'm proud to be a part of your tribe. Have a blessed day. I love you guys.